Well guys, good afternoon on a glorious Sunday afternoon here in Minsk, in the capital of Belarus. And yeah, the weather is absolutely fantastic. The reason why I'm actually on the cover of a forest is because it's extremely hot outside. It's about 30 degrees Celsius and it's slightly cooler on the inside. We got a bit of music over there. But anyway, I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about asking me the questions about what's the situation like here. Can we travel to Belarus? Can we come here? You know, are people from unfriendly countries allowed to travel to Belarus? So I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about Kaliningrad and how does it affect Belarus. And well, as you know, Kaliningrad, actually the oblast of Kaliningrad, is a Russian enclave. It's located between Poland and Lithuania. And if you've been reading the news over the last number of days, you will know that Lithuania has imposed a blockade, well, a semi-blockade on the enclave of Kaliningrad. If you look at my Instagram feed, I was actually in Kaliningrad way back in 2019. It's quite an unusual place. It used to be known as East Prussia, then as Königsberg. It was part of Germany up to 1945, and the Soviet Union gained it under the terms of the Potsdam Agreement of 1945, and as a result the German population that had been living there for centuries were forcibly expelled. Quite an unusual place, very nice, very charming. It feels very, very German, Kaliningrad, for architecture and so on. And in the hotel where I stayed in, that's the Hotel Moskva, there were a lot of elderly German tourists actually staying inside the hotel, and a number of them were actually coming back to see the places where they grew up and the schools that they went to before they were expelled in the immediate aftermath of the Second World War. Königsberg, or Kaliningrad, was subsequently divided between Poland, Lithuania, the Lithuanian SSR, and of course the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. Earlier in the week, Lithuania imposed a semi-blockade on the enclave, and this has actually ratcheted up things between Russia and Lithuania. And now it has emerged that the European Union are slightly and slowly distancing themselves from Vilnius. And if you look at the map, there's a small piece of land known as the Suwalki Gap between Belarus and Kaliningrad, and people have been speculating that maybe Russia could actually launch an attack to secure a land corridor, and then Belarus may actually get involved. But the way I look at it is, at the moment, is that it's highly unlikely, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 months. Anything can happen at any time, and so on. There's a great danger of maybe the whole thing possibly escalating, and what needs to happen is that both sides need to sit down at a table and de-escalating, because the longer this conflict goes on, the worse it's going to become for everybody, for Ukraine, and especially for many people around the world, especially in the West, where countries, for example, in the EU, are facing sky-high inflation and increased costs of food and energy, and especially in my own country of Ireland, where we now have to face the prospect of rationing fuel, and we're only in June. Unbelievable. Quite a beautiful place here, Park Cheluskatsev. It's in the center of Minsk, and it's one of my favorite spots here. It's beautiful in winter when all the ground is all covered in snow and ice, and right here in the summer when it's nice and cool, you can just stroll through the park. Yeah, really nice. But anyway, let's address my final point, and I'll be getting questions, queries from you guys, as if asking, well, if they can visit Belarus. And the question is, yes, you can. Okay, so if you want to visit Belarus, what you need to do is as follows. If you're coming via land border, you will need a visa. Land border via Lithuania or Poland. The only way to avail on the visa free is to fly in via Istanbul, okay, because there are no direct flights from Western Europe or Central Europe into Minsk. The only way you can come into Belarus is via Istanbul or Yerevan, any of the airports further east. Travel from Russia, that is simply not, you cannot do that because to travel to Russia you need a Russian visa, and to travel from Russia to Belarus you will need a Belarusian visa. Okay, so those are the questions that I want to get off my chest that you've been asking me over the last couple of weeks. I have been very, very busy with work, etc, etc, but with the weather that we have right here right now, I will be making more content. So that's the latest news here, guys, from Belarus. Things are quite peaceful here at the moment. We do have inflation like everywhere else, something like 16-17% at the moment, but fingers crossed both sides will sit down and hammer out a deal, and we won't be having a Sarajevo moment. So from Minsk, I shall see you guys later on. So it's do svidaniya and do streci.